How's everybody doing today? Hope you guys like that little intro. Metals with Mayne with the metal music to start it off. Alright, so we'll give it just another minute or so for some more people to join up, and then we'll just get to ripping. What's up? 2 seconds. Kabir, GT, what up, my bro? Nova, how you doing? Aditya, what's up? Vicky, how you doing? Owalele, I have no idea how to say your name. Be a gentleman and look at DXY, BTC, and F first, plebs. Metallica is my jam. In before claim by Metallica. Fuck, I didn't even think of that. Can I get copyright strike for this? Vicky Chattery, I need help, please. I am long F from 609. Please suggest me should I set hedge not. Liquidation price is 0. What the fuck? Am I crazy for thinking 14.5k Bitcoin is upcoming? No, you're not crazy. As a weekly pullback. All right, so let's just get going. Welcome back to another Metals with Mayne stream. I know I've been neglecting my poor metals a little bit. I did call the bottom on gold and silver on Twitter, but I know crypto's been crazy and volatile, so I understand, people being more interested in that. I've been more interested in that, but I want to get back to doing these. I will briefly touch on Bitcoin and Ethereum, but the purpose of this stream primarily is going to be gold and silver and the dollar. But I'll quickly talk about Bitcoin, and I'll quickly talk about Ethereum, and then we will focus on metals because I know everyone's interested. We're moving. It's the weekend. So let's quickly start with Bitcoin. So very simple view on Bitcoin here for me, at least. So we've got now I'm gonna have that song fucking stuck in my head. Okay, very simple view on Bitcoin for me here. All right, guys. This is daily support right here. Okay. Yeah, we nuked through it, but we came back above. We also have this fresh daily order block here. Okay. So this was a bullish order block here. One test, right? Failed. But now this is a new bullish order block, this candle. So I've marked the open of that candle there. That is daily support. This is also going to be daily support. So obviously this is a big candle. A lot can happen here. Personally, I think if we get below here, we do this. But I think as long as we're above this 0.7 level, I don't think there's a reason to be super bearish quite yet. This is key though, right? This is our third test of the level here without making a new high. So the bullish order block was formed here. It made a new high, right? So this is a valid order block because it caused a market structure shift, right? Made a new high. But now the issue is we've now tested the order block once, twice, 3 times, a lady, and we've failed to make a new high. Does that mean we're going to just dump? Absolutely not, right? Ideally, what you would have liked to see is these candles go on to make a new high. But this is still support until it's not. So I wouldn't freak out too much quite yet. If we start losing this level, like H4 closes, daily close below 18.7, something like that, even some H1 closes, like you can look on the H1, right? So we've had H1 closes below, right? And they did nothing, right? So H1 close below here, we've got the daily closing in about 20 minutes. So let's see. But if the daily and the H4 here manage to close above this level, I wouldn't worry too much. See, this is even a false signal here. There's an H4 close below the level. We still pumped, right? So I'm going to watch that daily close. We'll probably be on stream when it happens, and we'll see where it closes relative to this kind of 18,725 level. Back to the daily here, right? This is also 3-day support here, right? Right there. The 3-day is starting to look a little ugly to me though, right? It's starting to look a little ugly. But to me, this is a super clean view of Bitcoin. These are the only levels I would really focus on if you're trying to determine what you should do from like a spot perspective or whatever. Just watch the daily close here today and watch these levels. This 19287.5 level is the highest weekly close ever. I called for this level way back in November when we were trading around here and here. I said I'd love to see 19.3K, and you can see that's a relevant level as we've now spiked into it twice, failed to close above. So that is that level up there, and I've basically marked this order block here. This isn't quite a bearish order block yet. It technically is, but what I would like to see on this bearish order block is it would need to take out this low for me to really confirm that it's a bearish order block. Just like this bullish order block made a new high, I would want this bearish order block to make a new low here, right? So if that's the case, right, then absolutely you're shorting the shit out of any bounce. But for now, this is an interesting kind of point of inflection for me because it is very nice. Ran over or included, whatever you want to say, this confluence of that area and this key level, right? Order blocks occur at key levels. If we are able to reclaim this level here, okay, if we're able to reclaim this area here, I think we push to all-time high, and I actually think we'll probably overextend through all-time high. And so you can use your little fib extension here. That's way too far, but a 1-to-1 price swing would be 23K. All right. And if you want to throw on your let's just do negative. Let's just do this actually. Do I have no fibs? There we go. Okay. If we take a regular fib, okay, from here to here, you've got your 1.618 extension, right around 22,000. So I do think if we get back above this area here, okay, we will go through all-time high and we will likely overextend towards 22 to about 24, 25K. So that would be 1.1618 extension to kind of a 1-to-1 symmetrical price swing of this move, okay? If we fail to get above this area, right? So the thing is if you look on the intraday here, this has been kind of a battleground, right? We've come up here, failed, got above, right back below. So this is definitely a key area here on the intraday chart as well. Is this kind of 19.3K area. And so essentially this is key for me, right? I think if we close the daily and we hold 18.7, right? Like if we close the daily right now, I think that's not great. But if we hold this 18.7 level, I wouldn't be surprised if we just see some more chop here, right? And if we're able to get above here, I think we go higher. If we lose this level here, okay? If we lose this 18.7K level, I am looking to long at 17.2K approximately, okay? So if we lose that level, I'm looking to long there. Why am I looking to long there? This is daily support here. You go on the H4, you can see that that's this entire consolidation formed right there. This is obviously a key level. We don't just nuke things like this. You're not just gonna go like this, right? At the very least, this will give us a bounce and then it could continue down, right? Or it could give us the bounce that forms a higher low. I think, again, right, pull your fib from here to here, lines up perfectly as well with your fib kind of confluence, this entire area being an area to look to long. So I'm short Ethereum from like $609. I posted that like 2 or 3 days ago. And I've been pretty consistent with my thoughts on Bitcoin, with my thoughts on crypto. I'm not just a blind bull. Obviously, I do think we're going to go through all-time high soon, sooner than later, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see a larger correction, whether that correction is here or that correction is much lower. If we lose 17.2K, I think we'll go to about 12 to 14,000, and that's where I'll be looking to buy back. And I've talked about this before, as low as like even 11K, and seeing this kind of accumulation get run. Right? And I've talked about this before. Go watch some of my old streams. The last like 3 or 4 streams, I went super in detail on this shit. We could totally come back and retest this. Not saying that's going to happen, but it's totally possible. Just looking at where this price swing started and where it is now, right? It's not crazy to think that we come back and retest some of this, right? Or even if you want to take the entire of the price swing, right, to even come back and just retest 50% of this range. I don't care about the market dynamics. I don't care that, this time it's different. I don't care that there's institutions buying spot BTC at levels unheard of. I don't care about any of that. In every market that has ever been, at least how I trade, I focus on the efficient market theory. The market moves to fuck up the most people possible. And anytime you get some sort of crazy parabolic move, you see a sharp retrace. So could I be wrong? Absolutely. Maybe this was the dump. It was 17%. That's a sharp retrace. Maybe that was it. And we go parabolic again. But I just I don't buy in any of these narratives. Like, I know I saw Michael Saylor bought a bunch of Bitcoin today. Everyone's retweeting that, posting it. Michael Saylor bought $50 million worth of Bitcoin at like 19,000. He also bought like 400 million worth or some crazy amount worth, 4 million worth, I don't remember it was, at like 9K. Right? So like, I don't think Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy, the company, who own 40,000 Bitcoin in the company, plus his personal holdings, which I'm sure is tens of thousands as well, I don't think he really cares if he's buying at 10 or 20K, because he's planning on selling way fucking higher. I don't think he cares that he's buying at 10 or 20K. I don't think that matters to them. And I think he can buy at 19K and buy more at 14K. Like, I don't think that matters. Maybe I'm fucking wrong. Maybe it is different this time. But for as long as I've been trading, which is going on 6.5, 7 years now, anytime there's a parabolic move, you get a sharp retrace. And whether that retrace was this or it's going to be much steeper, it's yet to be seen. But I think you have a pretty clear plan here in terms of how to attack it, how to play it. I think it would be absolutely diabolical for us to kind of double top at all-time high and then see a pullback to like fucking, like the low teens. I think that would be absolutely diabolical and hilarious. But we'll see what happens, right? I think we've got a pretty clear plan here with pretty clear levels that you can execute on. And otherwise, just fucking chill, man. We're at all-time high. We've been chilling at all-time high for like, 3 weeks now, like chilling between like 18 and 20K. That's fucking awesome, especially if you stuck around for the bear market, right? You should be happy. But yeah, let's just kind of see what happens for now. I think it's pretty clear. That, we just wait and see. We wait and see what price wants to do, right? I think as long as we're below this gray box, there's a good chance we pull back at least to 17.2. That's the chart I initially had on Twitter, was this gray box. And I said, as long as we're below here, right, kind of bear flag, lower high, right into the box, pull your fib from there to there. That's going to be your sweet spot. That would be kind of your target. And that's essentially the exact same analysis that I did on Ethereum, right? So Ethereum, I put this chart up like 3 or 4 days ago, maybe even longer. Basically had an SFP there. Where are we paying attention to on Ethereum? Same levels I've had for fucking ever. I've been talking about these levels, right? 620 and 570. That's your key area on Ethereum. Zoom in here. To me, treat this exactly like you treat Bitcoin, right? As soon as we get above here, we're going to 800. As soon as we get above there, we're going to here. As soon as we close above 620, we're going to 800. Okay? But until then, this is kind of our chop zone between 570 and 620. Day trades, scalps, be nimble, be quick. If we lose this 570 area, right? If we lose this, okay, I think we go and test the low 500s again. Simple as that. So my plan's been the same for weeks leading up to all-time high to now being at all-time high. I've been super consistent about what I'm thinking on Twitter. Obviously, I want us to go up. I want us to break all-time high. But just there's no need to freak out, right? Play it level by level. I don't think it makes sense to be in a massively leveraged long here on Bitcoin. I just don't. I think, or on Ethereum. I think if we get down here, absolutely, right? But at 19.5, like to massively get in the long at 19.5 right into resistance just doesn't make any sense to me, right? You want to buy on the red candles. You want to buy on retraces. More interested in getting a long here than here. It makes no sense to be long right here, right? Either long the breakout, right, or wait for a pullback. But if you notice, all of these breakouts have been getting chopped up as fuck anyways, right? So, you got to pick your battles, but, don't be just fucking super cavalier and stupid and throw risk management out the window because you think we're going to crack all-time high. If we crack all-time high, we're probably going to extend a couple $1,000 beyond. But if we break down, we're going to retrace a couple $1,000 to the downside, right? So it doesn't matter. Ignore price, right? That's the problem with crypto, and I've talked about this ad nauseum, right? Is everyone 20K is all-time high, right? I've got to be long at all-time high. It's got to go beyond all-time high and whatever. Like it's going to go past all-time high. But moving from 20 to 22K is a 10% move, right? But moving from 20K to 18K is also a 10% move. It doesn't matter that one of those levels takes us above all-time high. It's a 10% move in either direction, right? Money can be made both ways. Forget about the asset and just focus on the chart if you're struggling. Because it's very easy to have a bias and be like, well, it's Bitcoin. Institutions are buying. This time it's different. I think all that stuff is stupid. If you have some sort of info and alpha and edge that has worked, not just saying, well, institutions are buying, but if you're following spot volume, like kind of flows, if you're tracking, OTC shit, if you're tracking, actual quantifiable stuff, sure. But just being like, this time it's different, Michael Saylor bought Bitcoin, that's stupid. And that is not enough, right? If you're having problems, if you're struggling, I guarantee part of it is because you have this bias about Bitcoin and how it has to go up. Just focus on the chart, play this level to level, because from here to 22K versus here to 18K is the same percent move, right? And anyways, rant done. Vicky, I need your help, please. I am in F long from 609. Please suggest me, should I hedge or not? Liquidation price is 0. I don't know what you should do, Vicky. What was your stop when you got in the trade? I think personally you longed right into resistance, right? I don't think longing, right into resistance was a good idea. But you're in the trade now. What was your reasoning for taking the trade, right? What was the setup? Was there a setup that you had in mind? And if so, your entry 609, where was your take profit and where was your stop? Are we past where your stop is? Then you should be out of the trade, right? I can't tell you what to do, but if you just longed Ethereum at 609 with no idea where you're wrong and no idea where you're right, I don't really know what to tell you. That seems like a not very well thought out trade, right? So you've gotta know where you're wrong. It's very easy to be like, we're about, right? Everyone thought we were gonna break up, right? Everyone here is like, we're gonna break up. This is it. We're going through 620, right? And then all of a sudden, oh no, we rejected again, right? So where were you wrong? Maybe it was this swing low, right? Like, where were you wrong? That's where you need to get out. None of this is financial advice. I'm not here to tell you what to do. You're the one who's pressing buy and sell, not me. Am I crazy for thinking no, I think I answered that question. S short was nasty. You're amazing. Thank you. SP Global starting tracking cryptocurrency index 2021 just announced earlier. Starting to look like BTC might broke down while on camera. Yeah, I saw that about the S&P, adding crypto indexes next year. I think that's super cool. I think everyone knows that this space is getting more and more legitimate, right? And getting more and more mainstream. I think that's a good thing. Look at where the levels are closing here right now. Boom, boom, boom. That's from our level, 570 level from the weekly. Dixie enormous. I will never get that. Will never get old. Back to eating ramen for me. Frankie, hello. All right, gold, RSI, and MACD look like we'll push higher, but I feel bearish looking at the chart. Are you reading order books also and trade with it? Are you using Elliott Wave? I don't use RSI, I don't use MACD, I don't use order books, and I don't use Elliott Wave. Vicky, I already answered your question. Forget ramen noodles. Anyone got nutritional value of sand? Shit looking bleak. Don't eat sand, bro. Eat ice. It's easier to get, easier to source. You can make it in your freezer. Would be hilarious. What's the longest you've ever considered holding a leverage trade? Oh God, I don't know. I've held leverage trades for weeks. Weeks and weeks. It all depends on the time frame that you're executing on, right? But when you're holding a leverage trade for the long term, right, funding will eat into your profits a little bit. But, you know, I get asked this all the time. They're like, well, you know, is funding going to make it pointless to open a leverage trade? Right? I mean, it's the cost of doing business to me, right? Funding, the fees you pay, it's the cost of doing business. What is your confirmation that BTC made a lower high on the H4? The confirmation is my eyes. No, I'm just kidding. Right? Look at the H4. Here's your high, right? So you have a low, a high, a higher low, a higher high. This looks like a lower high to me, right? It looks like a lower high to me. But technically, it is not considered a higher or lower high until the swing low, right, that generated the high, right, gets broken. So as soon as we break below this area here, this locks in that lower high. And the exact same goes in reverse, right? This is technically not a higher low until the swing high that made the low gets taken. Once we broke through here, this is now officially a higher low. But you can try, if you wait till here to realize this is a higher low, right, you've missed the entire move, right? So part of it is anticipatory. Part of it is using the low time frame where market structure is going to shift first, right? Connell Masquiston. Hi, I shorted mid-range flip and had another order at 599, but I don't think it's going to go there now. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Like I said, we're on daily support. So let's see what happens. If Ethereum is going to bounce from here, it's going to bounce into this order block, and that's going to be the key, right? So this is what, 585 to 590. If it comes up here and rejects, it's going to get ugly. If it comes up here and regains, we're going back to 620, and I wouldn't be surprised if we break it after 1, 2, 3. I don't think it holds a fourth test. Right? But if we do this, right? 1, 2, 3, another fourth test, that could be the end. So interesting area for sure. We've got an interesting daily close coming up in 2 minutes here. Entry price 609, target price moon, stop price stocks only go up. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude to Vicky here, but you know, I can't tell you what to do. You had to have a reason that you got long there. And if you have a reason to enter the trade, you need to have an idea of where that idea is wrong, right? So if you're going to enter somewhere, never enter a trade unless you know where that trade is wrong, or else you're just gambling. You made the guy cry. Thank you, thank you. How long did it take you to master price action? Oh, God. I wouldn't say I'm even a master yet. As I choke. Haven't mastered drinking water, clearly. I've been trading for like 7 years, 6.5, 7 years. I didn't really... Jesus Christ. Corona. I didn't really get consistently profitable for about the first 2.5, 3 years. And I also was fucking around with indicators and different systems and yada, yada, yada. This daily is going to close below our level. So. Let's the bulls step in right fucking now. They've got 5 seconds. I don't think it's going to happen. Right, so like look at even on the low time frame, right? Test, test. reject, right? This looks ugly. All right, so it closed below the level. So I don't like that, but again, it can spend some time in here, right? But the fact that we've closed below the level, I don't like. We haven't even talked about metals yet. We're 30 minutes in. Yeah, two and a half, 3 years before I really got good. Can you explain how BTC affects alts and USD price and how to make the most of it? Connell, go watch my last video and the video before that on my YouTube. I cover that in depth. So go check that out. Trading traditional markets also. Yes, this is literally called the metals with mainstream. So I should be talking about gold and silver right now, but here we are talking about crypto. Watch this happen. Watch that happen. Would you buy XRP BTC at 2,500 Satoshis? What kind of fucking question is that? Who are you people? I love it. I love it. I love all of you. I'm gonna humor this with an answer because it's just funny. Just straight up. Would you buy at this level? If that level that you said is right here, then maybe. Yeah, I don't hate it, right? So think about it. Think of all the people that bought this and are fucked, right? They saw XRP breaking out. They're FOMO. This is all FOMO retardation up in here, right? So where does the smart person buy? The smart investor, right? You wait for that FOMO to wear off. If you bought XRP up here, right, and your position all of a sudden gets cut in half, you might be considering selling, right? That's where you want to get involved. So I don't hate that idea at all, actually. I think buying back within this range, right, is not a terrible idea. It could come deeper than that. Pull your fib. But there you go. Sweet spot is right around your level there. So I actually don't hate that at all. Buying right in this area here. The wick is kind of big here. So if don't want to use the wick, you just use body to body here. You still get the sweet spot, 50% right around that area. So yes, that is an area that looks interesting for XRP. I don't really like XRP as a coin to trade, but I like that level. BTC at lowering these minutes. Lol. As a Twitter follower, it looked like Mayne improved a lot when he focused on less setup, but higher quality, high time frame swings. You're not wrong. I've always been a swing trader. That is my forte. Whenever I get dicked around on the low time frame, is usually when I start fucking shit up. Daily close is ugly. Yeah, F looks pukey. I agree. FBTC 4-hour close. Crypto mainstream now. Mainstream. Every stream is just a crypto stream. All right, let's look at gold and silver here, because that is the point of this stream. I will be doing a crypto stream on Sunday. All right, so gold, I tweeted out at the bottom, right, on gold. So gold, we finally broke this floor. That we've, had basically since the summer of, this kind of, 1860 level right here. So you can see we had the wick here, another test. And I talked about this on my gold streams. I've talked about this in Twitter. Basically, my thought process was very simple. I said, I think that this is kind of like Bitcoin at 6K, right? This is your bouncing ball meme. Right, so the bounces were getting weaker, and eventually the floor is going to give out, and that's exactly what happened. So unfortunately, I didn't short this entire move. I probably should have, but I did get in a nice long here. I posted on Twitter right at the bottom. I said gold and silver at bottom for now, and we've gotten obviously a real nice bounce here on both. 3.5%, 4%, which is awesome. And now this is going to be kind of the area of interest that I'm watching, and we're coming right up into it right now. I mean, fib from the high to the low, and look at the precision of where we wicked into here. Literally spiked into the 0.62, sold off aggressively. So the week is closed now, but I wouldn't be surprised if this has a little bit more upside in it. Ideally, what I'm looking for, right, is this is a big structural break for me, so I'm not just expecting us to do this. Could we? Yes. Like this could be the bottom. So if we reclaim this floor, right? If we reclaim this area as support, The bottom is absolutely in, and we're going to all-time high, okay, and beyond. So beyond 2,000. But if we come up and retest this, this to me is just a standard kind of, short setup for how I trade. You have your key SR level. You have your order block near the key SR level, okay? And you have your Fibonacci confluence. You have your market structure. So you have a high, a low, a lower high, a lower low. So now we're anticipating a lower high to short for continuation of this downtrend, right? And we broke a key level. So to me, this is a 10 out of 10 short in terms of like setups that are high probability, high confidence. I'm stepping in, no questions asked. If we get up here, and you could even start building a short on the way up, right? With your stop up here, I think that is a super comfy short for sure that I will be taking 100%. So if this happens, don't ask me and say, hey, Mayne, did you short gold? If we come up here, I shorted it, right? I will short this. Even just to the local low with a relatively loose stop. Ideally, I mean, you could actually have your stop here, right? But I usually have it at the swing high a little bit looser. This is a 10 out of 10 short. I take this every time. Even just back into the lows, 2.7R with a loose stop, right? And you could also zoom in. When we get up here, you could zoom in to the 15-minute, look for some sort of low time frame trigger to get in with a better risk reward. But this will be a short that I'm watching on gold. Absolutely. And very simply, if we reclaim this, okay, and show strength, so like let's say my gold short gets stopped out, we come up, then we pull back into here, I'll be longing this towards all-time high. So let's say we come up here, stop my short out, right? Any sort of pullback, I'm getting long, and I'm targeting all-time high. Any sort of pullback, my stop would go then below this little order block here, and I'd be targeting all-time high. If this, then that, right? That's exactly how trading works. If this happens, I do this. If that happens, this happens, I do that, right? Silver, very similar situation, except it's a little bit better from a market structure perspective. So on silver, we didn't really break the floor. And if you want to consider this the floor, sure, but to me, this is kind of the equivalent level on gold, right? So we've got your kind of floor here, your bouncing ball. We swept these lows here, pretty nice bounce, but gold made a clear lower low, right? If this was gold, this is the gold chart right now. Okay, this is silver, right? See the difference there? So this broke, made a low. This is still holding support. So this is more bullish to me, right? So I don't really have a short setup on silver here yet because we SFP'd this level. We are coming into resistance here. Let me just... Right, we are coming into resistance here. We are in a little bit of a mini downtrend here, but we didn't break a significant low. All of these lows are still intact, whereas on gold, all of these lows, right? That's a clear swing low and break in market structure. So silver's not as clear to me in terms of what I would do. I'm not just going to market short silver like I am going to short gold. But if gold shows strength and if silver, kind of comes back here, there could be a potential long, right? But if silver breaks down, I'll do exactly what I do on gold, right? If we do one of these, I'll be shorting this for further downside. And one of the main factors that we're going to have to watch for whether or not these uptrends are going to continue up or we're going to see a reversal and we're going to see further price action to the downside is we got to look at the dollar. So I've been talking about the dollar forever, and I said we're finally coming into this monthly order block here. Finally hit it. I've been talking about this for ages, it feels like. Once we finally broke down from this consolidation, I said we're coming to test this area here, okay? Now, high time frame, right? So let's go back out to the monthly here. High time frame, the dollar looks like absolute shit, okay? This looks like absolute shit. I don't see why this doesn't continue down. High time frame. Super bullish for gold, super bullish for Bitcoin, right? But we are not cracking this monthly level. Like I see people telling me like dollars going to 80 cents, right? We are not just going to do this. Okay? We're not going to. We're not. It's a monthly level, right? Monthly level is going to get a reaction. I don't know how big it's going to be, but we are going to see a reaction from here. We are not cracking this level on the very first try. So, while high time frame, I'm bearish on dollar still. Medium term, short term, I do think we could see some relief, right? We have had no real significant relief on the dollar, right? Since COVID, right? Just like Bitcoin has gone like this, straight up in a parabola, the dollar is essentially in a massive downward parabola. So eventually this thing is going to get some relief, right? It's eventually going to get some relief. So there's that key monthly level right here. Now there is one area of interest over here to look at, I believe. Okay, see this? There's a little tiny gap here, partially filled. But there's a little bit of a gap here in price that we could want to maybe come and fill in, this little inefficiency. But this is a monthly order block, right? So I'm not expecting this entire area, right, to get cracked first try. So the short to medium term, I am expecting a bounce, whether it's from this exact level that we're at right now. You can already see that this level is being respected just based on the wick and the close above, the wick and the close above. At the very least, I'm expecting a move up into here. That would be confluent with that gold short. That would be confluent with Bitcoin potentially pulling back a little further, right? Lots of confluence there for a little bit of a bounce. We could bounce much further. Okay, this has not had relief in fucking ever. So I would not be surprised if we see a larger pullback, right? In the neighborhood of, kind of your 62 to 79% retracement area. And again, this would be perfect catalyst for a short on gold, which has just broken a major market structure low, right? Normally, when the dollar is super weak, right, gold is going up. What has gold done for the entirety of 2020, basically? It's essentially gone up because the dollar has been super fucking weak. But now, both gold and the dollar just broke a swing low, right? So there's a divergence happening. Normally, they're inversely correlated. Right now, they're correlated. And that's not going to last. That divergence is going to get settled. And usually, there's money to be made in that divergence. The market is telling us something, and it's telling us that either the dollar is going to bounce and gold is actually leading the move and it's going to make another leg down, or it's telling us that the dollar is fucking so weak that that gold move is just a fake out. And so right now I'm leaning towards the former. I do think that the dollar gets a bounce here in the short term. I don't know how high that bounce goes, but I do think that that would be bearish for the dollar, or for gold, bearish for silver, bearish for crypto. So the question is, how high does it bounce? Is this it? If this is it, if we just bounce to like here, Bitcoin's, I think, not going below like 17K. If we bounce hard, right, if we get a major bounce, like I'm talking something like this, okay, some sort of big boy bounce, right? So maybe we do one of these. Some sort of move up into here before continuing down, that would be a major pullback on Bitcoin, right? This is the kind of price action we're going to see on the dollar if Bitcoin is going to go to 12 to 14K. Bitcoin is not going to 12 to 14K if this just continues to melt, okay? But if this can find some short-term support, we'll see a bigger pullback in Bitcoin than I think people expect. It's just like that, the correlation is there, right? That's what Bitcoin's traded against. So without dollar strength, there's no reason to think that Bitcoin is going to get a major pullback. But dollar's been bleeding for so long, and it's into a monthly level now. If it's going to show strength, now is the time. And it also so happens that Bitcoin is at resistance. And remember, I've talked about this in previous streams about metals, about Forex, about crypto, right? That's how you want to play these things. The high probability move on a gold short, right, is when the dollar is at support. The high probability of a gold long is when dollar is at resistance, and same goes for crypto. So this is the key. This is the key. All the charts I've shown you, this is the fucking key. This is the I don't know, some movie reference, insert here. That it is here that matters, right? What are we going to do on this monthly? If we're going to get a bit of a bounce, how high does that bounce go? And what does that mean for gold, silver, Bitcoin, Euro USD, GU? Look at some of these look at some of these USD pairs, right? Euro USD is at 1.21. Where is the dollar right now on the monthly? In a support. Where is Euro coming on the monthly? Coming in a monthly resistance, no? Dollar at monthly support, Euro at monthly resistance. Right? What do you think happens if I pull my fib from here to here? Right into the 79. Let's look at GU. Right? This has a little bit more upside, but still, dollar coming into support. GU is starting to get towards monthly resistance here. So let's see what happens, right? So those types of things are lining up, right? Gold coming into potential resistance, where dollar is coming into support, right? Water bottle wasn't open. Do I like your question? Yes, I liked it. I agreed with you. Can you look at XBT USD? Yeah, I can. XBT USD platinum. Platinum, baby. Wow, what a ripper. So, I mean, when you see something like this happen, that's usually super bullish, right? So, I like this. I like this chart because we now have what? We've now taken out this high. This is now an uptrend on the weekly, okay? This is now an uptrend on the weekly chart. So, again, got to pay attention to what the dollar does. So if dollar bounces, this will pull back. But what I like about this, right, is it has not run. Like gold and silver, right, both have run. Gold's already through all-time high. Silver just broke its consolidation. This is just starting to break out. So I think this could be a laggard play, which is actually quite nice. But if you look here, right, this is now an uptrend on the weekly. So let's say we get that dollar bounce that I was talking about, right? You get the dollar bounce, you get a nice little pullback on here, right? If the dollar bounces and this pulls back, this is absolutely an area where you look to buy platinum right in here for another leg up. And then dollar crashing back down, right? Ideally, dollar bounce, this pulls back, dollar starts rolling over again, this fucking comes into that support and it legs up. Why do people hate on ICT? God, how much time do you have? I think there's a lot of reasons why people hate on ICT. I think some of it is warranted. Obviously I learned a lot from ICT, so I respect him. But I think, the demo trading, the backing out of challenges, failing in trading competitions, all that stuff, very egotistical guy on Twitter or whenever he's had interactions with people, all that stuff, I can understand why someone hates him and doesn't like him. For me, it's never been about that. Like his style of trading is what spoke to me the most and changed how I trade, changed my life in many ways. So instant respect from me for that. And I don't care. I don't care who he is as a person. His content that he put out for free for many years. I became profitable trading ICT concepts on all of his free stuff that's on YouTube before I even took the mentorship. So, it worked for me. Everyone's like, yeah, but is he profitable? I was like, I don't care. I'm profitable and I use it. So Real Will Mead and his followers chased in on XRP. I don't know who that is, but he sounds like a pleb. Diagonal breakout. It's okay to go long. I have great entry point for XRP USD, and I've got scared, put in close too early. I don't really fully understand what you're saying, bro, to be honest with you. People hate on ICT for the same reason people hate Justin Bieber. It's just popular to diss ICT, even though he's really helpful. Love you, Mayne. Good shit. I love you, Fabrizio. How do you spot bottoms? Key, market structure shift, lower time frame. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, right? If you want to see a bottom, right, this looks like a bottom, right? But there's other aspects to it. There's no real level here, right? This has never been this low. But when you see this kind of reaction and then you see the market structure start to shift, right, that's your key, right? So there's no knowing that this was the bottom on gold, right, until we broke out of the range. Once we broke out of this range, the bottom was in. If you're asking how I knew the bottom was in on gold here, that I can show you. Okay, so we have a key monthly level right here. Okay, key monthly level. And then on the intraday, right, I sent my tweet out on December 1st. On the intraday, come into the key monthly level, and now I want to see bullish price action, right? So we see a low, a lower low, and then a higher low. This is one of my classic Mayne setups that I've talked to you guys about, and I'm going to be doing a video on 2 of my entry techniques. I just haven't even begun formulating yet, but it is something I'm going to do. This was one of my bottoming kind of setups, but it's just a key SR level, right, from the monthly, and then I saw some bullish price action, right? The bullishness occurred here. Once we broke that high, right, I think we go up. On a lower time frame, right, it's even clearer. Key monthly level, huge sell-off first of all, right? So when you see a big sell-off, right, you start looking for areas where the sell-off might stop, right? A little consolidation here, but there's a key monthly level, right? Once we came into here, right, and we started kind of rounding off, and then boom, there's a market structure shift right there. Okay, now you're buying dips, you're longing dips into bullish order blocks, right? That's the name of the game. Bullish order block, there's your pullback, right? Bullish order block right here, there's your pullback, there's a deeper pullback. So it's all about finding the key high time frame level, and then you need to look for actual bullishness, right? If we came into this level, right, and just did one of these, like if this happened, we come here, and then it goes like this, that's not what I want to see. But if I mark out that low, okay, but if it just breaks low, that's not bullish. But if it comes up and then reclaims the low, okay, now I'm paying attention, right? So I simply had an alert set right at this level, and then I hopped on screen and I watched the price, right? So it can be that easy sometimes. But yeah, you want to look for your key high time frame levels. I'm not trying to catch a bottom based on the 1 minute chart, the 10-minute chart, the hourly chart. I'm usually looking for daily, weekly, monthly levels. To me, that's a key level right there on gold, right? And look at this level here. You think that's a coincidence? Let me zoom in a little more here. So you think it's a coincidence that like once we broke this level, closed below, we had another leg down, right? So this could be kind of a bullish argument here is now that we're back above here. But again, key high time frame levels is what you want to focus on for looking for bottoms, not intraday levels. Key high time frame levels and then intraday bullish price action. So I didn't even read your whole comment there, Joe. Yes, you nailed it. Key level, market structure shift, low time frame. Exactly. RSI. Check RSI. I don't want to check the RSI. I don't use RSI. I'll do it just for you, Trader Safari Social. Just for you, bro. So what do you want me to look at here? No divergence here yet, right? None of that shit. No divergence. This was a divergence here, barely. That's a higher high, right? We're in the same area. Oh, no, never mind. It's not a divergence. I lied. You can use this at the bottom too, right? So that key monthly level, right? That key monthly level, there's a divergence, right? So coming into that key monthly level, RSI, way oversold, makes a bullish divergence and bullish market structure. Just the RSI is not enough, right? And the bullish market structure, that's enough confluence to start thinking it might be bottom. But you don't even need to pick the bottom, right? Forget trying to get the bottom. As soon as we close through here, we are going to at least fill into here, right? So why don't you then look for a long in this price action here, right? Once we got through there, right, why am I not looking to get long on like a pullback like this or something like that, or one of these pullbacks? Because you know we're going to at least fill in some of that gap up to here. So you don't need to pick the bottom, but that is one of the ways you can kind of do it. Titanic Passenger wants to see if I can chart ICUP. Very funny. Yo, Crypto Chimp, what's up, man? The meme god in the chat. What's up, bro? Simply Gains, but ask me how to short, told me 1,000 ETH this week, scammed again. Yeah, he also said $700 ETH yesterday, or he was going to delete his account. His account's still there. That guy's a fucking piece of shit, and I have no problem saying it. He's an absolute scamming, lying piece of shit who got caught opening up a scammy paid group and then just punting the group members' fees on BitMEX on extremely high leverage. He was in a Discord with me. I have tons of screenshots of evidence if he really wants that smoke. We were in a Discord together and we would see him. He got on the leaderboard. That's sick. But he got on the leaderboard during this 14K run and he was just extremely degenerately high leveraged long this entire way up with funds that he got from his paid group, and he blew up accounts multiple times, but he used that leaderboard picture and that clout to then get more people to join his group, and then he disappeared for a while, and then he came back, and now he's back, and he's got another paid group, and like I don't have any respect for that guy. I think he's a fucking scammer, and there's tons of evidence of him scamming people. There's been an article written about it on Medium. There's tons of people who came out with like, this guy scammed me. So fuck that guy. And yeah, he talked shit at the perfect time, right? Super cocky about ETH, and you know, now it's down $200 or $150 from where he entered. And he'll say, oh, I've been bullish this entire time. Fuck you, you piece of shit. I'm counter trading your Discord. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. Everyone has been long for the last 8 months, you retard. ICT the GOAT. No lies detected. Can you chart Curve BTC or Curve USD? Say how you normally analyze the chart and say why we could trade the opposite. Thanks. I gotta go to the gym soon, but I will do this for you, baby Lorem, Babalorum. I think I talked about this. Like, go, guys, I did a 2-hour stream on Sunday of last week, and I covered so many altcoins, including this one. So go watch that stream. But yeah, this is one that I like, right? This looks decent. There's so many alts that look like absolute dog shit. This, to me, is starting to form an uptrend, right? So I think this is a super, decent looking one. We're into resistance here. We could pull back further, but I think as soon as we clear this gray, I think this has a lot of upside, right? I think that is a level to watch, and I think this is a level to watch once we clear that gray. So this looks pretty good to me. I don't hate this one. Do you expect a gold BTC correction with a rounded bottom or fast V shape, or does the dollar want longer term glory, pausing metals BTC bull markets? So what he's asking is, if you look at this chart, right, this ratio is getting smoked, right? What does this ratio mean? Think of this as any altcoin, anything, right? The ratio is just a fraction, right? So if the denominator is stronger than the numerator, the chart will be in a downtrend, right? And if the numerator is stronger than the denominator, the chart will be in an uptrend. So Bitcoin USD, the numerator, Bitcoin, stronger than the denominator, USD, uptrend. Euro or USD CAD, right? The denominator, or what's a better example? This, right? Gold BTC. Gold is weaker than Bitcoin. This is in a downtrend. Look at any altcoin versus BTC. For the most part, most of them have been in a downtrend because Bitcoin's been stronger. This chart is also known as the bane of Peter Schiff's existence because, as you can see, Bitcoin has been outperforming gold for basically forever. That being said, this is getting, quite oversold, I guess you could say. Will there be a bounce here? Will there be a correction? Possibly. I'm not ready to bet on it yet, but this could have some sort of, move like this. But then I'm believing that Bitcoin will always outperform gold. So maybe this sees a bounce. Nothing here yet telling me that this is the bottom. As to your question about the dollar, I don't think the dollar is going to have longer term glory. I think any sort of bounce in the dollar will be short, right? Like I see maybe this, right? So this is enough though to give Bitcoin and metals a serious pullback, right? Or maybe it goes higher, but I think overall the dollar will continue down and eventually take out this low. It's just a matter of time, and it's not going to do it in a straight line, right? It will have bounces and corrections along the way. Maybe it's even just like this. Maybe we just get a little move up and then down. Okay. Raphael Kochiolek. Rafal Kochiolek. That's what we're going with. Sup. Thoughts about buying OTM VIX options at 30 to hold and hedge against volatility. So OTM, out of the money, for those of you that don't know. I'm not a huge options trader guy. There's probably way better people to ask than me. One sec. At 30, yeah, so this is the volatility index. This is kind of like a good, proxy for volatility in the market, and then like kind of fear as well, right? So when was fear peaked, right? Well, there's your COVID dump. There's your 2018 crash. I don't know, to be honest with you. I'm not the right person to ask for this. I've never bought options on the VIX. But I don't know why. I mean, I can kind of see why you like that 30 level, right? It seems like things are chill. And if it gets above 30, right, things might get crazy again. Volatility, maybe the stock market pulls back, maybe, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not the guy to answer that for you, bro. I don't trade a ton of options. And when I do, I'm trading them on just stocks. I'm not trading it on the VIX personally, but I don't hate the idea, but I don't know. I don't know enough about it. Can we be around XTZ USD bottom? All right, this is the last chart I'm looking at, guys, because I gotta get ready for the gym. I mean, I hate that wick. God, shut up. I hate that wick. But maybe, right? Like, you know, this is the nice thing about this chart, I guess, right? Is this is an uptrend. Right? So if this is a higher low, right? The idea is that this is going to continue up. I don't know much about Tezos. I know it got shilled super hard for, you know, a while in the summer, but this isn't an uptrend. This is an uptrend, right? So I don't hate it, right? You could probably pull a little, you know, I don't hate this. I don't like that wick. You know, if we lose this low, it gets ugly. But for now, right, this is absolutely in an uptrend. But this is not a coin I know anything about or that I have any skin in the game for. It really needs to get above this area here. So you can see we wick through, but we close below. I think if it can get through the gray, it will head towards this, but I wouldn't be surprised if we come and, you know, test the trend line again first. But yeah, it is in an uptrend, so I don't, you know, don't hate it. Okay, there's also a 4-hour bullish breaker after testing the monthly support level on gold. 4-hour bullish breaker. Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly, right? So we come into the monthly support level that was here. You don't even worry about getting the bottom here. Mayne told you the bottom was in, but once we reclaim this is now a breaker. There's your entry. There's your entry. That's bang on, Joe. 100% correct. And again, on the breaker entry, right? Let's say you're entering, you know, here, your stop there, right? You've got a nice juicy trade here. Your stop, you can put your stop all the way down here even. And you've got at least a 2R, a 3R to kind of your FTA. So I like that. Good eye. Okay, hi, I'm from Nigeria. Are you going to ask me for money? Because the answer is no. Just kidding. Just started to learn and trying to have understanding trade terms. Have any suggestions for me? Sure. So Chubazor Samuel Orzo. Baby Pips. I know people make fun of Baby Pips, blah, blah, blah. Baby Pips is a great resource for just learning the super, super, super basics. What is a candlestick? How do you read a candlestick? How do I identify, like, how do you read a chart? What does SR mean? Like, all of your basic stuff, Baby Pips is a good resource for that stuff. YouTube is also great. You can check out my old videos. You can check out Crypto Cred's videos. He has a great introductory YouTube series on marking up charts. So that would be my suggestion for you, is go to Baby Pips to learn the basic terminology, and then check out some of my old videos, some of Crypto Cred's videos, for a good kind of intro to charting. And welcome to the journey, man. Happy to have you. I will watch from the beginning of the video, but what is your BTC position after that dump? Go check the start of the video. I talked about Bitcoin in depth at the start of the video for the first like 20 minutes. Thank you very much, sir. You the man. No, you the man. What is your front squat? I'm not doing front squat right now. I tore ligament in my wrist in the summer, and it's like still not 100%. It's close to 100%, but like I literally just started doing bench press again this week after like 5 months of not doing bench press. But my back squat is about, I can do 3 plates, so 315 pounds for reps, so like for 4 or 5 at this point. I don't know what my max 1 rep would be, but definitely more than 315. Front squat's a little gnarly on my wrist. My wrist is a little fucked still. Where do you enter at LTO USDT? I've got to go, man. If I don't take my pre-workout in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to be fucked. I'm not going to sleep. Where do you enter this? I mean, if this is going to continue up, this is the support that you want to enter it, right? If I don't know, I've never heard of this coin before. I don't know what it does, but if it's going to continue up, we just pinged into weekly support, right? So this is where you want to see. Notice that, right? Weekly support. You go to the daily. Look at how the daily closed. Wick, boom, right? So there you go. 12-hour weekly support. What's also there? 12-hour order block. So where do you enter this coin? You enter it right now, and you target the moon. I'm just kidding. I think there's no problem entering right where it is now in this gray box. You're wrong at that low. Okay? So you're wrong down here. I don't think there's any issue with this. If it's going to bounce, it's going to bounce from here. If it gets below this gray box, it's going to fully retrace this entire move. So this is where you buy if it's going to go up. Right where it is pretty much right now. So there you go. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This was a lot of fun. I'll be back in 2 days on Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and I believe 11 p.m. London time. I've moved it earlier because one of the most common comments I get is that there's it's too late for the European gang, so I've moved it earlier in the day. So I'll talk to you all on Sunday, and yeah, thanks for tuning in.